Hi guys, welcome. This is I can't believe we're already at our 7th installment of just the Deathnote script because like it's mind-boggling that we're on the 7th installment of this thing. Like I I've been like working hard at it and like it's been crazy. And as a I've been and like something I've been working on for you guys is I'm checking out other systems. Because you guys have probably noticed that every single time I've done a stream, Celtics has been glitching out. And that's no fault of me or Celtics. It's that it's probably a combination of the fact that Celtics is not meant to be streamed. I don't think, and like, so I think that that's part of the problem. So I've been looking into some other free options, of script writing options, so that way we can still do these streams, but probably on a system that is a little easier to use. Or hopefully one day Final Draft will figure out what's wrong with their system and allow me to go and like literally fix some things, because I want to be able to go and like see my stuff. Like I really would love to be able to use Final Draft, because that's the program I bought. I paid a lot of money for. I got it on discount, but I did pay a lot of money. So I hope one day Final Draft comes to their senses and realizes this is a good marketing opportunity and fixes their software. But sadly, this is where we're at. So yeah, I'm testing other softwares to see if I can find one where it doesn't glitch out as much, and can handle being streamed. So I've been doing test streams with some of the other programs. But yeah, I'm also been trying a different system. So right now, instead of going and like instead of looking at the chat from OBS, I've decided, I'm mad at myself. I didn't even think of this. I am doing is watching this chat from my phone. I'm so frustrated I didn't even think of this, because what happened was my last stream, I did Stardew, and I literally didn't think of this until I was like, it was really hard to play Stardew because I couldn't really see. Stardew has like a very small UI system, which I really hope Concerned Ape can like fix that, so that way those of us that are visually impaired could, play Stardew. But sadly, that is not the case. So basically, I was like, you know what? Why don't I try like going and like using my phone to read the chat messages, and it worked so well that I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? That's with a lot of things. I realized that I should have been doing something sooner, but the thought never crossed my mind. But yeah, I'm sorry that my stream schedule's been getting erratic recently. I've been trying to go and fix things and get things under control, especially after a little incident that happened, that I'm not going to go into. It's really it kind of threw me out of whack, and you guys on Twitch, I didn't apologize in the last stream, but I'm sorry you guys didn't get content for like a week. Like I like the YouTube audience at least got one video, but like you guys got nothing, and I'm so sorry that I literally didn't post anything. I needed a week to recover. So for me, I literally I took a week to recover, but I literally forgot to like leave any statements or anything like that for you guys, because it was on my mind. I had to fill out a lot of paperwork. I had to like basically recover and like basically like get my head screwed on straight, because it was really hard to like go and like have this happen, and then you're like, okay, now what do I do? It's hard to be bubbly and happy, and also to write a story and be creative when you don't have, in your mind, you don't have the capacity to be creative at that moment. You just have the capacity to like just get better. So I'm sorry, you guys, that I had literally like left you guys high and dry for like a week without any like notification that something happened. And I noticed when I opened up my stream today that I have two more followers. So I am so happy that you guys are following me on here. I don't know if you came from YouTube, so that might be the case where you guys came from YouTube, and that's what it is. But oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you too. But yeah, now that I've gotten all the announcements and all this stuff, let's get into our normal routine of discussing the rules and discussing what we did last time, because that's important. Oh my gosh, there's a hair on my mic. Get off my mic. Jeez, I shed like a Pomeranian. Jeez. But yeah. So for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Chrissy the Abyss. This is a collaborative effort, a fan adaptation of Deathnote. We are basically working together we're a collective working together to go and make a good adaptation of Deathnote, because there hasn't really been a really good adaptation since on TV and film since the anime, and the only good adaptation that I've seen has been the Broadway one. So, is what it is. But basically, you're able to provide your headcanons, any ideas that you think would really benefit the story. That this is accidentally slowly morphing into our version, because like we're changing so many details of the story that it might eventually become a different version altogether. But it's basically we're working on it together. So we're working on this as a collective to make sure that, you know, we make a version that everyone's happy with. And if you provide your headcanons or anything in the comments or in the chat, those will get credited to you. So I will put them in. I'll put credits to you. I have a little spreadsheet that I am keeping. So letting you guys know. But yeah. And if you want to tag along and keep on with the rest of us, crack open your books. Or if you don't have the book, it is free on the website. So as a reminder to myself, let me go on to my other tab and get you guys the link, because like always, I started doing this last time, and it was one of the things I was like, man, I should have been doing this. I should have been doing this since the beginning. And I was like, why didn't I think of this? Because there are some people who are going to have a hard time looking this up. So, yep, pinned it. So that way, if you guys enter the chat late, or if you leave the chat or anything like that, it makes it easier for you guys to like actually click on it. So, yeah. Let me go back to the one I use. All right. And so let's go and read what we did last time, because we did quite a bit last time. But yeah, and I'm just so happy. I love that I have my new desk. Oh my gosh, it makes this stream so much easier. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, we were in this section. So, okay. Okay, so we were here. So Light catches it, and Ryuk closes the notebook and tosses it to Light. Light catches it and looks at it, shocked. The door opens. Saiko walks through it. Light looks at Saiko and casually shelves the Death Note amongst the other books on the bookshelf above his desk. Saiko, Light, your father would like to speak with you. Light, I'll be done. Oh, I should have put down, not done there. Down. I'll be down there in a minute. Saiko, this place is a mess. Were you able to get the spider? The spider? Ryuk, oh, this must be your mother. Ryuk walks up to Saiko's face and examines it. Saiko doesn't react to Ryuk. Ryuk, you really have her eyes. Light looks at Ryuk concerned. Light looks at Saiko, and his face looks puzzled. Saiko, are you feeling well, Ko? Should I run a temp? Light, I'm fine. Just thinking. I'll be down there in a minute. Saiko, okay. If you say so, but I literally put quiet instead of quick. Wow. I must have been tired. Okay, if you say so, be quick, or your food will get cold. Saiko walks out the door and the door closes. Light, am I the only one that could see you? Ryuk, the Deathnote binds us together, so you are the only one who can see and hear me. Light, so there's no consequences to using it. Not exactly. I know there is a special terror and torment for people that have used it, but I don't know. I don't think it's in heaven or hell. Also, when you die, I'll be the one writing your name down. Light looks at Ryuk stunned. Then his expression changes. His expression changes to become excited, like giggles. So, I'll find out after you write my name down. One more question. Why did you choose me? Ryuk, don't flatter yourself. All I did was drop a notebook. It just so happened to land somewhere around here, and you picked it up. Light, then why did you drop it? Why would you leave instructions? Ryuk, I was bored. So I forgot So I dropped it to see what would happen. I was bored, so I dropped it to see what would happen. I wrote the rules. I wrote the rules in your most common language to see if anyone would try it. And that's where we left off. So yeah, pretty interesting scene. Basically going over, like, we're explaining the rules. The point of that scene was explaining the rules of, like, Ryuk and his connection to light without, like, actually saying it, right? Because, like, with scriptwriting, you want to avoid doing exposition dumps as much as possible. If you can convey exposition without spelling it out in dialogue, it's the best thing to do, because it leads to funnier scenes. It leads to more engaging visuals, and generally the audience, it doesn't treat the audience like they're stupid, right? It's the 2+2 theory is what it's called in scriptwriting, where you're giving the audience enough information for them to put it together themselves, but you're not saying for, pretty much, right? You're not saying for. So all I did was just confirm it with using light, right? I established the rule using visual storytelling and then confirmed it with light. But I didn't just say, oh, no one can see. I didn't just have him just say, oh yeah, no one can see me but you, because that's not as interesting than having Saiko come in and Light being very concerned that, like, Ryuk is getting all up in her business and is like concerned, and then for Saiko to be confused because Light is the only one that could see Ryuk, and so she's like, why the hell are you looking at me like that? You know, she's confused, so for good reason. But yeah, let me grab my book. Oh shoot, I forgot. I put my tea kettle on top of my book. Ugh. This is what I get for doing a whole reorganization of my room. I did it because I needed to install my boom arm, so I moved all my furniture, and I moved my all of my books in my library, my mini library. Okay, Come on. Come on. Come on, don't fall. Give me. Tea kettle, don't fall. You know what? I'm just gonna stand up and grab it. What? I'm not gonna let this glass teapot shatter into a million pieces. So just give me a sec. Okay. My computer just fell on the floor. That was fun. Literally scrambling to fix everything while everything was literally going everywhere. Oh my gosh. That was the last thing I wanted. That's the one problem with this desk. It likes to be dramatic and just fall. Even when I don't knock it over. I gotta get, like, sandbags or something. So that way it stays up. But for some reason, it just likes to do this. And be so dramatic. Move my keyboard. The new problem that I have with my rig is that I can't see my keyboard because my mic is so big. Like, my mic is ginormous. I have a Blue Yeti microphone, but in order to use the Blue Yeti microphone, you have to put a mic shield on top of it. And a mic shield is a giant foam ball with all of its insides carved out. Carved out, and a pop filter on the front of it. So this thing is like 9 inches of big ball. And so it's like, it obstructs my vision of the keyboard. I'm gonna have to learn how to use this keyboard without, like, seeing, because it's like, oh my gosh. But yeah. So let's go to the page. Let's go to the page. Let's go to the page. Okay. Yeah, we're on page 25. So on page 25 of the manga, it says, because I was bored, that's why. It might be a weird thing for a Shinigami to say, but I just didn't feel like I was really alive. In actual fact, Shinigamis these days don't have a lot to do. All they do is nap or gamble. If they see you scribbling human names into a death note, they say, "What you working so hard for?" and laugh at you. I'm in the Shinigami realm, so killing people in the human world isn't any fun. But if you write the names of the Shinigami into the book, they don't die. It's more fun to be here. So is that how it figured? Gotta say, though, you really wrote a lot of names in here. I was bored too. Of course I didn't believe it at first, but the Death Note has a power to make anybody want to try to use it at least once. So that's where we're at. And then it cuts to the flashback of how he how he ended up going and doing that. How he ended up, like, going and doing the first kill, right? Who was his first kill? Why did he do his first kill? Type thing. So it goes into that detail. But yeah, we're on 25 of the manga. So yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I think what we're gonna do with this part is we gotta make it interesting, right? We can't just have it like how it is on the manga where he's just like talking about it for the most part. We have to like go and like figure out what we're doing with this. So let's see. So I was bored. So I dropped it to see what would happen. I wrote the rules in your most common language to see if anyone would try it. I think what should happen next is Light should ask, like, you can't do anything else in your world? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, is there nothing else to do in your world? Right? And that's where we can have the lead in of, like, him saying Shinigami gamble or nap or stuff like that, and every once in a while we'll, like, write a name to extend our life. But pretty much, like, if you're doing any more than that with the notebook, if you're doing anything more than that with your Death Note, Shinigami would laugh at you for working so hard. You know what I mean? Like, we have to convey this interestingly. So yeah. Let's see. Let's put down my book. I need to get a bookmark. The good thing is I now have some money. Stuff is paying off now. My efforts are now paying off. Oh, hey, Spaceman! Hey, you come to see the stream! Are you in school? Tell me. Because I don't want to get in trouble with you and your teacher. Be honest. Let me see. Oh, good. You're not in school. I'm doing good. Just had my whole computer system fall to the floor on stream, but but you know, the stream is still up, so we survived. You know, the stream's still going. And yeah, I'm doing good. So I gotta get a phone holder, so that way I can put it at the end of this, like, new desk that I have. Let's see. Nah, I'm gonna have to, like, buy, like, a adhesive phone holder, so that way I can make it easy on myself to, like, check in on the chat. But yeah. But yeah, so I think that he would say, Light would have to say, right? I think it starts off with no offense. Oh, of course, caps lock's on. No, caps lock, stop! Thank you. No offense, but isn't there anything more? Isn't there anything? No offense, but isn't there anything else you could do? Anything fun? Anything else? Isn't there any other thing you could do in your world? Is there any other thing you can do in your world for fun? Ryuk. And then some Shinigami gamble. Most Shinigami nap. or gamble. Or gamble. Most Shinigami nap or gamble. And then every once in and then every once in a while every once in a while write some names to extend their lives. But there's nothing else we can do. Most Shinigami nap or gamble, and every once in a while write some names to extend their... I'm using the wrong there. Wow. Their lives. But that's pretty much all we can do. We do. They make fun... But that's pretty much all we can do. But that's pretty much all we can do. There's no pleasure. We can't... That's all, pretty much all we can do. We can't write each other's names. We can't write each other's names. Actually, let's erase that. I think that's pretty much all we can do. If you do more, if you write a ton of names down, they look at you like you're crazy. They look at you like you're crazy. Can't you put them... Can't you just write each other's names down? Can't you just write each other's names down to put them out of their misery? You'd think. You'd think. You'd think, but it doesn't work on shit. It doesn't work on... It doesn't work on us. You think, but it doesn't work on us. On Shinigami. It doesn't work on Shinigami. You'd think, but it doesn't work on Shinigami. pretty much like crushing ants. And then light. So it's pretty much like crushing ants. You could do it. It's pretty much like crushing ants. You can do it. It's pretty much like crushing ants. You could do it, but it's not, doesn't give you any thrill. But it doesn't give you any thrill. It doesn't give you any thrill. So it's pretty much like crushing ants. You can do it, but it doesn't give you any thrill. Exactly. 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 It's more fun to watch you guys. It's more fun watching you guys do it. It's more fun watching you guys do it because you have something to lose. You have something to lose. Because you have something to lose. You have something to lose. Which brings me to which brings me to my own question. Why'd you write so many question? Which brings me to my own question. Why did you write so many names? Which brings me to my own question. Why did you write so many names? Then I'm going to have him, let's go to action. Light looks at the TV. Looks at the TV. I was bored too. But of course I didn't believe it at first. But that notebook has a power to make anybody want to try to use it at least once. Exactly. It's more fun to watch you guys do it because you have something to lose, which brings me to my own question. Why did you write so many names? I was bored. I was bored. I was bored too. I was bored too. And I was bored too. And even though I didn't believe in it, and even though I didn't believe in it, I didn't believe in it. That notebook has a magic. That notebook has a power that makes anybody want to use it at least once. There. So, as you guys could probably see, I kind of did a Haunting of Hill House reference, if you guys, or like a Yellow Jackets reference right here. It's really hard to see it, but whenever you do something like in the format of like Hill House or Yellow Jackets where you're cutting to a flashback, something that I liked from Hill House is whenever they would look backwards or like they would remember something from their childhood or something like that, they would look to something that reminds them of that. And the reason why I had Light look to the TV, because his first kill involves looking at the TV. He turns on the TV and watches a news reporter talk about a kidnapper. And that's how he kills his first victim. And so if he were to realistically remember it, he would look to the TV because when he's thinking about it, because that's what reminds him and brings him back to that memory. Right? So that's where I'm going with this, is that he's looking at the TV because it's bringing him to that memory. We're giving a catalyst, basically, of what brings him back to this thought, right? It's not just him saying it. It's not just him saying it. It's also him coming back to it. But yeah. But all right. So let's figure out what we need to do to fix the scene, because it's a lot of talking, but we need to, what we do in between. I think Ryuk would walk to the window because he wants to like see outside, but also it kind of leads into like him talking about like why he dropped the notebook, right? I feel like while he's saying this, right? So he starts walking. When he's saying it, Ryuk walks to the window. Walks to the window. Right? He's talking to Light. Looking out the window. Walks to the window. And then action. Ryuk stops at the window. Stops at the window. Stops at the window. Ryuk looks at the window. Looks at the window. Looks at... Oh, no. The window. Looks at the window. Walks to it. Oh. Looks at the window and walks to it. The sound of children playing are heard off screen. Ryuk looks out the window and walks towards it. Basically, we're hinting that the playing is being done outside, pretty much. right? And Ryuk's looking out the window because he walks to the window because he wants to see what's going on outside, but it's kind of conveying that, like, that's more interesting for him to watch, right? We're conveying with what he's saying with the visuals, in a sense, instead of showing the Shinigami realm. Because it's more interesting to kind of create an illusion by showing it, like, in a sense where, like, Ryuk's in this, like, this dark room, right? And he's watching these children, like, play cheerfully outside, right? He's watching these children play cheerfully outside, and it's juxtaposed by the fact of that he is basically talking about how that it's more interesting to watch people kill each other than it is to go and watch than it is to write down names as a Shinigami, right? So it's kind of like that, where he's like, it's a very interesting it makes the conversation more interesting to do that interesting juxtaposition, because then you're making the scene very dark, in a sense. You're making the words even darker by the inclusion of children playing outside, in a sense, right? Because it makes it even more sinister, the things he is saying. And that's why I'm doing that. It's a very weird way. It's a weird way of doing it, but it creates this very sinister scene without it being sinister. Nothing dark is visually being shown. Nothing evil is being shown. But the fact that we're juxtapositioning it against children playing, against him saying such horrifying things, makes it even darker. And that's what I'm going with this. Where I'm going with the scene to fix it. Okay. And then let's do this. Ryuk watches just from the window. Watches from the window. Ryuk watches from the window. Children. Watches from the window. Children playing on the street. On the street. The children are to make it even more dark, let's have them doing a water gun fight. Are playing with water guns. Guns with water guns. Actually, no, that might be too American. No. Ooh, that might be too American. And too on the nose, too. That might be too American. Let me see. Let me check. Children's games in Japan. Outdoor games. So let's see. It has to be something that I can turn sinister. Okay. I think that one will be perfect. So there's Um, there's this game that they have, and it's called Bidama. Bidama. Is a game where you shoot marbles at each other's marbles. You flick the marble, and it's supposed to knock out other marbles, and it's played on the street. And that would be so perfect for this. It's a cultural game. It's something that playing B. I'm gonna spell it like this, but the I is supposed to be hyphenated. Bidama. Perfect. Okay. So yeah. So I'm gonna have them. The children are playing Bidama. And it's something where it's so innocent. It's an innocent game that is played worldwide. But in the right context, it's an allegory. And also, it's a gambling game, too. So it goes with the next sentence of you either nap or gamble. And it's also a game that you can't quit. So it's perfect because it's a perfect allegory for the situation of the Shinigami. All right. Okay. Oh, and this should be a question. All right. And then Light asks the question, can't you just write each other's name? You'd think, but it doesn't work on Shinigami. So it's pretty much like crushing ants. You can do it, but it doesn't give you any thrill. Exactly. More fun to watch you guys do it because you have something to lose, which brings me to my own question. You have something to lose, which I think at this point, this is the point where he has to address Light. So let's do Ryuk looks at Light. So he hasn't been looking at Light the entire time. At Light. He hasn't been looking at Light the entire time. But now he's looking at him. Which brings me to my own question. Why did you write so many names? Light looks at the TV. I was bored too. Even though I didn't believe in the notebook. Even though I didn't believe, that notebook has a power that makes anybody want to use it at least once. You see how this now makes that conversation more dynamic? Because now we're not just having them talk. We're giving details, right? One of the children celebrates his win. Celebrates their win while another is upset. Ryuk is watching from the from the window. One of the children celebrating their win while the other one is upset. And also, this is also partially an allusion to the future, because we're alluding to the battle between L and Light without even saying a thing about it yet, right? We are alluding to that someone's going to win and someone's going to be upset. In a sense, but in a harmless way, while basically creating this illusion in our mind that someone rewatching the scene will be like, that is the scene, basically a similar idea to what happens with Light and L. Light wins, and instead of L being upset, L dies. So that's the idea. We're doing it we're basically alluding to the battle, but in a harmless way. Right? We're making it even more sinister. But yeah, I see the scene where and how I'm writing the scene, we're watching it from behind Ryuk. We're not watching his facial expression, because the reason why I don't write any facial expression is we're not supposed to be able to tell how Ryuk is feeling about it. His feelings are irrelevant. It's the illusion that's more relevant. That's why I am writing it in the way I'm doing it, because we're not going to show expressions. We're only showing the back of his head and what he is looking at. And the reason why, and I'm making this at the reason why I don't have him look at Light at any moment is to add more significance to why I am forcing Ryuk to watch these children. For basically making Ryuk keep his eye on these children adds more significance to the words that are being said while these children play, which makes it even darker. So, oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so happy. We made a breakthrough. Oh my gosh, I am almost at my goal of writing. I'm at 226. The goal is for writing per day is 250. Man, I've written that much, and we haven't even written for a long time either. That's insane. Wow. That's the one thing that I was telling you guys. Once we get to later in the scenes, we're going to be writing more quicker, because we've already established pretty much what we're going for. And we're going for Light's bedroom. Day, but dash. Now, here's how you would write it, like, in the script, right? Is you would do, like, you would hint to 5 days ago, right? 5 days ago. Now, this is a note to the actor and this is not a note for the audience. This is a note for the actor and for the writer, because this is basically telling them, okay, this is from a scene prior, right? This is a continuation of a scene prior, or it's a scene that is in between these times. Earlier. 5 days earlier. 5 days earlier. So this is a note for the audience. For not a note for the audience, it's a note for me as the scriptwriter and for whoever is to use this script, because it's telling them go back to the previous page. So in this case, right, this is where we go all the way back up, right? There, schoolyard, lights, bedroom, day. This is him going in, reading the book. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this, right? This is going to be, basically, this is how the audience is going to know that this is from the scene that they saw on, like, they saw at the beginning. This is how they're going to know. I'm basically playing out the scene prior to it. See? So now they know that this scene is from 5 minutes into the day, right? Oh, hi, Spaceman. Good to see you back. So, yeah, we're writing the flashback now of, like, light flashing back to 5 days earlier. And for the audience to do that. So, basically, right, to write this flashback, I am basically taking the end of what happens in the scene that happens on page 5, right? And I'm putting that here, so that way it tells people, oh, this leaves off where we had left off on that scene, right? It's just a continuation. So that way, it's already shorthand to tell them, oh, when does this take place? I don't have to write a 5 days earlier or anything. The 5 days earlier, because you weren't here to hear the explanation. That's only for me as the writer and whoever is acting this. So that way they know. But this is not for that little 5 days earlier is only for whoever's writing the script. It is not for the audience. They will never see this. But that's how I'm doing it. So that way we're not having to put the little thing in the scene where it's saying, oh, yes, this is 5 days earlier. No, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We just need to rewrite the end of the scene, pretty much. So, and do it as a continuation. So let's continue. We're going to put action. Light's face. Scrunches in thought. Basically, I'm conveying that, like, every time we see his face scrunch, he's thinking. Right? That way we have a written shorthand. I only have one dog. I've had dogs throughout my life. And cats. And crabs. And fish. But currently, one dog and then a ton of neighbors' cats. That, like... right now, like, I have my little smoky little dog. It's like a, like... Silky Terrier mixed with, like, a black lab. So, you can imagine how my dog looks. He looks crazy. He just looks like a ball of smoke, pretty much. But, yeah, I have one dog right now, and then we look after our neighbors' cats a lot, so they kind of know us and, like, hang around our, like, yard. And, like, we take care of them and then, like, since our neighbors are on vacation, like, a lot, and my neighbors actually took in my other neighbor's cats. So they're actually a neighbor of a neighbor's cats that the neighbor didn't want to take care of. So my neighbor took over those cats. And then because that neighbor goes on vacations often because they're, they are in that retirement age, they go on vacation. So we take care of the cats whenever like they go on vacation, but they're generally perfect for those cats. But yeah, so we take care of our dog and then the cats next door. But yeah, my dog is so cute. But yep. So yeah, that answers your question. But yeah, so I'm kind of trying to create a visual shorthand that I can keep every single time that we're conveying that he's thinking. His face scrunches. So light sits up, up, and slides himself, slides his legs over the side, and slides his leg over the side. He walks to his desk and sits. Oh, he walks to his desk and sits in. No, not in. On the chair. Sits on the chair. And then he opens the notebook. The Deathnote. He opens the Deathnote and grabs a pen. Grabs a pen and grabs a pen. He opens the Deathnote and grabs a pen. He writes. He puts the pen to the paper and hesitates. He hesitates. If I wait. Actually, this I don't even have to write it. Hesitates. He takes the pen off the paper. And holds it to his mouth. And brings it to his mouth. Brings it to his mouth. His face scrunches, grunches in thought. His face scrunches in thought. His face scrunches in thought. He puts the pen back on the desk and grab the remote. Basically, we can't write the thought. So what I'm doing is I'm writing the thought process, but doing it through visual medium, right? So by him hesitating, where he's about to write a name, but then he hesitates. Because then he's like, wait, he hesitates and he's thinking, basically conveying that he's like thinking, who should I really write, right? Because if this, we're conveying, like, who should he write? Because if it's true, right, then he's going to be a murderer. We're trying to keep it to a minimum, right? Him talking out loud. And I think him saying, wait, if someone actually dies, does that make me a murderer? I think it's a stupid thing for him to say. Like, I'm not saying that he is stupid, but I feel like that, that's kind of obvious. Like, if it's true, someone might die. But if it's not true, then you're writing down a name. But we're trying to convey this, like, through visual storytelling, in a sense. So he turns on the TV. And I think what we should do is have him flip through the channel. So it's not like the first thing he clicks on is the news, right? It has to be intentional. So I think that he should be flipping through channels, and he gets to the news. And he sees the breaking news report. And he's like, maybe this dude. You know, like, we're kind of conveying the scene, but we're not using any of the words. Because the problem with it also is the words kind of add more time to it than is really necessary. So he puts the pen back down on the desk and grabs the remote. The TV turns on. Turns on to a K-drama. No, J-drama. A J-drama. The channels change. The channels change. The channels change. The channels change. Over and over again. The channels stop changing. Stop changing. On channel 6 news. Okay, so we're gonna do that so that way This is a whole different thing. Because since the shot did change to focusing on the TV, we have to change the paragraph. Because you have to change the paragraph whenever the shot changes. TV turns on to J-drama, then the channels change over and over again. The channel stops changing on Channel 6 News. The TV show shows a house with captioning, with text reading colon, okay, Shin Ju Killer Shinju Killer Killer holds 8 holding 8 8 hostages. 8 hostages. Okay. So basically, right, we're kind of right 8. Okay. So we're writing what he's seeing, in a sense. And then reporter I v dot o dot enter. The man who indiscriminately killed and wounded 6 people yesterday in Shinjuku is still barricaded inside this nursery school with 8 hostages, including little children. The Metropolitan Police have determined this man's identity. He's Kuru Ato Harada, 42 years old and unemployed. 2 days ago, I think I'm gonna cut it off where it says the man indiscriminately killed. I'm just gonna cut it off to where, like, it feels too perfect for him to be like, oh, it starts like right there. It should be like he's cutting off what the reporter's saying halfway through, and so like killed and wounded. So like because like whenever you tune into a news broadcast, you're never getting like the beginning of the story. Like when you're tuning in, rarely do you catch it right when they're about to say something. It's always like in the middle of their sentence. So I think that it should be like that, where like he's cutting off the first part in a sense, because that feels more real. 6 people yesterday in Shinjuku is still barricaded inside with eight hostages, including small children. Including small children. children. Okay, alright. A man's photo is shown. A man's photo is shown. Okay. Reporter VO. Reporter VO. The Metro Politan Police have determined the man's identity to be guru Gudaru Oto ha da da okay. The 42 age 42 age 42 unemployed. Employed. 2 days ago, Otaharada. Oh no, actually, let's make it even worse, right? And formerly employed. Formerly employed at, and we're gonna go enter. Light writes, grabs a pen, grabs the pen, and writes. Goru Ota, where is it? Oto ha rada Otarada. He puts down his pen. He puts down his pen and looks at his clock. And look at his clock on his bedside. bedside table. His bedside table. Right? He looks at the clock on his bedside table. Clock table. Reporter. Voiceover. Two days ago, Ota harada. 2 days ago, Ota harada. And this is where I have to come up with something, a cool story for what did Ota harada do to deserve this. 2 days ago. So, officials say, disclosed that 2 days ago, Otohara was seen having a heated argument with one of the other, one of the staff members at the nursery. At the nursery. And then, okay, I'm gonna have, okay, ooh, what did I click? There you go. Okay. Argument with one, oh, I misspelled argue. Wow. Argument with one of the staff in at the nursery. At the nursery. Ooh, I should have wrote pen and looks at the clock. The clock reads. Ooh, did I establish a time in that previous scene? Let me see. Let me go back to page 5 and see if I pre-established a time that was happening. Let me see. On his bedside, yeah, lounge chair, that. No, I did in the next scene, but I didn't establish it in this scene. So I would have to say the clock reads clock reads, say if you got school days ends at 8, he gets home at around, takes him about probably an hour to get home, right? So he's probably at home at 9, per se. Let's give it, reads 9:10. Or, ooh. Or, ooh. I could do that. Oh, actually, it should actually not be 9, because it should actually probably read in 24 time, not in 12 time, because this is done in Japan, so it's international, so they wouldn't be going off of international time. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21. So 21. So reads 21. So 21. And then I think, I have an idea. I think the clock should read possibly 9 o'clock on the clock, right? And then, right? Wouldn't it be cool if, like, if you were able to, writing down the digits, right? It's a multiple of 4. Not a multiple of 4. When you add up the digits, it's 4. Right? Which 4 means death in Asian cultures. So, when it inevitably turns 2101, you add up the 2, the 1, and the 4, the 2, the 1, and the 1, it adds up to 4. Right? Wouldn't that be fun? Like, for those who know the Easter egg will know, right? To add up the digits. Right? I want to do that. I'm doing that so hard. I want to do this. Oh, I love this. I love this. Oh my gosh. Love it. Add up the digits. Yes. Or even better yet, make it a multiple of 4. Oh, that would even be sweeter. Oh, yes. Make it a multiple of 4. Make it a multiple of 4. Oh. That's also another one that could be cool. I don't know. Spaceman, which one do you think? Should it be that the numbers should add up, and when you add up the numbers, it's 4? Or should it be a multiple of 4? When you divide all the numbers. Right? Which one do you think it should be? Leave it in the comments. The 21 has to stay. Just letting you know. 21 has to stay because logically, if they get out at 8, then it would have to be 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock is 21. So that's the only thing that's staying. The last 2 digits is what we're trying to figure out. Spaceman. Okay, I'm just going to put 01 for now. And if you... because probably, that way it gives you some time. The alarm clock numbers blink and change to 2101. 2101. So, Light grabs pen, writes his name, he puts it. So, puts it. I would say we're taking up 1/6 of the page. Because we're taking up about 1/6 of this page and then about 1/8 of the other. I want this to be a solid 40 seconds, though. That's what I want to do. Like, this moment should feel like that 40 seconds that he waits, where he's dreading it. He's almost like wanting to erase the name off the paper, but he also doesn't want to at the same time because he wants to test it. Ugh. It should be a little... so let me see. Right? The scene should at least be 40 seconds. And 40 seconds on a page would be about here-ish. Like about, I would say about here. Right on a page. So if I want it to be about here, it has to be about half the page. Approximately. Because I want it to feel, I want the viewer who is watching this in their mind for it to feel that 40 seconds of when this is happening, right? He puts down the pen and looks at the time on the bedside table. And the nursery. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Light looks down at the paper. Light looks at at Guru Otoharada written on the page of the Deathnote. Deathnote. And looks at the white out pen in a cup on his desk. His desk. Basically, I'm making him feel. I want to hint that there's a moment where he has a chance to erase the name. He doesn't know if it's real, but he has this moment of doubt where he's like, maybe if it is real, right? He has a moment where he's like, I could erase the name. I could white out this name in this notebook. I still have time, right? I don't have to be a killer. Right? He looks at the TV. He looks at the TV. The TV. The TV shows CCTV footage of the man accosting one of the nursery employees and employees. Basically, I wanted to feel like the longest 40 seconds for the audience, but it is a true 40 seconds. Okay. So he writes his name. We're almost there. Because then once we get to about here, that's when he needs to die. Employees. TV show shows CCTV footage of the man accosting one of the nursery workers. Employees. Okay, and then Light looks at the alarm clock. Looks at the alarm clock. He looks at the alarm clock. The alarm clock numbers blink and change to 21:10. And then Light size. Light size. Light. Light. I guess it's not. Not real. Guess it's not real. Light. Light gets out. Gets up from his chair. His chair. Gets up from his chair. And then we hear the reporter say the dreaded thing that Light kind of didn't want to hear. Oh, the hostages are leaving the building. Oh, wait, the hostages are leaving the building. Reporter, first. Oh, wait. leaving the building. Or leaving the building. So like I said, when he dies, right? This is the moment of the 40 seconds, right? It's when around here is when the 40 seconds is up and the person has died. Right? In universe. Like, I am actually making it to where it's 40 seconds. And so, like, the hostages are leaving the building. Lights, face, is shocked. Shocked. And he looks shocked. Looks shocked. He sits back on his chair. His chair. And looks at the TV. Looks at the TV. The TV shows hostages running out of the building. Just running out of the building while police run inside. So basically I'm doing the image of basically the and reporter, the one of our colleagues on the ground. We'll go to one of our colleagues on the ground. We'll go to one of our colleagues on the ground. To one of our colleagues on the ground. The TV shows a reporter with a nursery worker with a woman with woman in nursery uniform. The TV shows a reporter with a woman in nursery uniform. Aye. This is what I wanted. There. And the reporter, reporter number 2. What just happened in Inside, did he, what just happened inside? Did he release you? Did he release you? Release you? Nursery worker. Nursery worker. No, no. He grabbed his chest. He grabbed his chest and fell to the floor. After that, we all ran. Fell to the floor. After that, we all ran. I think he died. I think he died. I think he's dead. I think he's dead. All right. So basically, right? We have him die. He's dead, pretty much. We made the dude die. So now the dude's dead. And we've got to 2 pages. I am fatigued from doing this, so I think I'm gonna stop it from here. So let's read what we have so far. And the good thing is that, right? We are already on, what is this? Let me go to my thing, because it's a little easier. Let me see. We're on literally page 29. We did already 5 pages. That's how quick 5 pages goes. How 5 pages go. I literally in 2 pages, I was able to condense 5 pages of content. And that's what happens with mangas. Like, even though we're on page 29, right? We're only in the script, right? We're on page 13. So that's how much you could squeeze, how much of a difference in mediums writing for a script and writing for, and writing a manga is, because when you write a script, goes a lot quicker than it does writing a story, because you're condensing a lot of details. Like, I can't write thoughts. Thoughts are not something that you would write out loud unless it's something audacious that he's like, oh my gosh, what the hell? And so, like, unless it's like something audacious, he wouldn't say it. He or like he's making fun of it. Like, he wouldn't say it out loud. Right? And so, right? This is why I'm like, why this scene is really cool, because we're doing it in real time. We're showcasing that how long 40 seconds is. It's not very long, but when it's your first time you kill someone, it's a long 40 seconds. I wanted that 40 seconds to be as long as it probably feels for Light. Like, after this point, 40 seconds is going to feel like a couple, it won't even feel like anything, right? For Light. Not until the battle with L. Not until it's the battle with L, or the battle with one of the CIA agents that is basically gonna give crucial information, and he has to figure out her name. Right? That is the most important. Those are the times where the 40 seconds are gonna feel like 40 seconds. Whereas, like, every other occurrence, because he's writing so many names, it's not gonna last as long. Right? 40 seconds is gonna feel quick. So that's another juxtaposition I wanted to do, is that I wanted this to feel like the longest 40 seconds of his life. And that give him the moment where he has the autonomy where he could erase that name. He could have. He has a whiteout pen on his desk. But he doesn't. He doesn't because he watches that footage and is like, let's let this ride. He makes his choice. He's presented with the choice to go and do it. And he does it anyways. So, let's read what we have so far. So we actually wrote more than that. Because we wrote a little more than that. Let me see. See. Ryuk stops at the window. No offense. But isn't there any other thing you could do in your world for fun? Ryuk watches from the window. Children playing on the street. The children are playing Bidamama. Ryuk. Most Shinigami nap or gamble, and every once in a while write some names to extend their lives, but that's pretty much all we can do. If you write a ton of names down, they look at you like you're crazy. Can't you just write each other's names down to put them out of their misery? Ryuk. You'd think, but it doesn't work on Shinigami. Light. So it's pretty much like crushing ants. You can do it, but it doesn't give you any thrill. Ryuk is watching from the window, one of the children celebrating their win while the other one's upset. Ryuk. Exactly. It's more fun to watch you guys do it, because you have something to lose. Ryuk looks at Light, which brings me to my own question. Why did you write so many names? Light looks at the TV. I was bored, too. Even though I didn't believe that notebook has a power that makes anybody want to use it at least once. Interior Light's bedroom, day, 5 days earlier. Light gets up from his chair, walks to his bed. He lays down on the bed. Light. Write their names down and they die. Light yawns and rolls over to his side. Light. How stupid. Light's face scrunches in thought. Light sits up, slides his legs over the side. He walks to his desk and sits on the chair. He opens the Deathnote and grabs a pen. He puts the pen to the paper and hesitates. He takes the pen off the page and brings it to his mouth. His face scrunches in thought. He puts the pen down on the desk and grabs the remote. The TV turns on to a J-drama. The channel changes over and over again. The channel stops changing on Channel 6 News. The TV shows a house. Not a house. A business. A building. A building. With text reading, Shinjuku killer holding 8 hostages. The reporter VO. Killed and wounded 6 people yesterday in Shinjuku and is still barricaded inside with 8 hostages, including small children. A man's photo is shown. Reporter VO. The Metropolitan Police have determined the man's identity to be Guru Otaharada, age 42, and formerly employed at Light grabs the pen and writes, Guru Otaharada. He puts down his pen and looks at his clock on his bedside table. The clock reads 21:00. Reporter VO. Officials disclosed that 2 days ago, Otoharada had been seen having a heated argument with one of the staff at the nursery. Light looks at Guru Otoharada written on the page of the Deathnote. He looks at the whiteout pen in a cup on his desk. He looks at the TV. The TV shows CCTV footage of the man accosting one of the nursery employees. Light looks at the alarm clock. The alarm clock number blink and change to 21:01. Light size. Light. I guess it's not real. Light gets up from his chair. Reporter VO. Oh wait, the hostages are leaving the building. Light's face looks shocked. He sits back on his chair and looks at the TV. The TV shows hostages running out of the building while police run inside. The reporter VO. We're going to one of our colleagues on the ground. The TV shows a reporter with a woman in nursery uniform. Reporter number 2. What just happened inside? Did he release you? Nursery worker. No. He grabbed his chest and fell to the floor. After that, we all ran. I think he's dead. And that's where we're leaving it for today. I hope you guys love this section of writing his first kill. I'm excited. Later tonight, you guys should be able to see me doing Deathnote 6. That will be premiering tonight on YouTube. So you guys will be seeing Deathnote 6 tonight. Sorry I didn't post it yesterday because I got really busy with my other jobs and I literally ran out of time yesterday. But it should be posting tonight. And then you guys will see Stardew on Friday. So I'm excited for all of you guys to see all that footage and all that stuff, all the fun that we had. And yeah, if you like this, subscribe to the YouTube. And if you like to watch me live, I do this on Twitch. You know, time's kind of pending because, like I said, give me some time to, these couple weeks because I'm going through a lot of transitions and a lot of paperwork and a lot of stuff. So my schedule's like fluctuating like crazy. So until I have like a good concrete idea of how my schedule is going to be, it's going to fluctuate like crazy for a little bit. But follow me so you can find out when the next time I stream, because it will let you know by sending you a little notification, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day, Spaceman. Have a wonderful day to everyone. And bye, guys.